You've got to get a hold of yourself.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow, right? All those clips you just saw, they were filmed on my GoPro Hero 9. And on this last backpacking trip, I was determined to get nice looking footage, maybe even cinematic footage with just my GoPro and a little bit of help from my iPhone. I've posted other adventures where I use my DSLR, and I love my Sony, I really do. But taking it backpacking, it's more work to set up the shots, and I wanted to keep this trip simple, and I really didn't want to slow down the group with all of my gear.
I'm finally ready!
So let's get into making your GoPro adventure films a little more, let's say, cinematic. Here we go. First off, let's start with settings. My default setting is 4K 60 frames with the lens set at either linear or wide. This gives me the option to slow my footage down later, and if I want to go even more slow, I go 120 frames. Depending on which GoPro you have, you might need to scale up your footage and your timeline. I have the Hero 9 and it captures at 120 frames at 2.7K. Starting with the Hero 8, GoPro added shortcuts that you can add to each of your settings. To find them, click the preset you want to add them to, tap the pencil edit icon, then scroll to the bottom where you can customize the 4 on-screen shortcuts and pick what you want from the slider on the right. Also set up your color profile, and I highly, and I mean highly, recommend you shoot in flat color. But that's only if you're going to color correct your footage, and you should if you want it to look cinematic. I mean, that's why you're here, right? You'll have much more control over your image with a flat profile. If you have the 10, you'll have 3 choices: vibrant, which is GoPro color in the older versions, natural, and flat. And I have heard that natural looks really good. Also set up EV comp to -5, and I would also make that a shortcut in your menu system. This will save your sky and your clouds so they don't get blown out. GoPro has a tendency to kind of overexpose your footage. So if you bring that EV comp down just a little bit, you're gonna underexpose it a little bit, but keep those details. You'll thank yourself in the edit. Another feature that you should set up before heading out on the trail is quick capture. What quick capture does, if you aren't using it already, is if the camera's turned off, all you have to do is hit the record button on the top, and whatever your last setting was that you used, it's gonna start recording, and it might save you from missing a shot. Okay, next up is mounts. The best thing about the GoPro is its versatility. You can mount this thing anywhere. And while you're on the trail, we want to keep the camera easily accessible. For me, that was mounting the camera to my hiking pole, which doubles as a selfie stick.
Please don't drop my phone.
So I used the GoPro pole mount, and I set it up on my pole before I headed out on the trip. The one that I have, you need an Allen wrench to tighten it, so I did pack that in my gear bag just in case I did have to adjust it. Another piece of gear you should absolutely bring with you is a tripod. You can use your pole by sticking it into dirt, but remember it's a monopod and it might fall over. This little guy, the GoPro Shorty, it's something that comes in handy all the time. And it's pretty compact, fits in pockets, doesn't take up much space, and it's been one of my favorite mounts. If you want to get POV shots, then you also might want to bring along the Mouthy, which, I don't know, does this look stupid? Okay, now next up is plan your shots and your sequences. You'll thank yourself later when you're editing. Do you want to show how far you've traveled by showing your feet walking on different trails? Or a selfie at different times of the day as you move through your journey? Do you want to do interviews?
So Jared, thank you so much for putting
I'm a
this
Pisces.
together.
What kind of film do you want to make? Your story, of course, is going to evolve as you're on the trail, but having a place to start and a few ideas ahead of time will help you get started. Sequences is another tip. You can show the same scene but from different angles and then do a match cut in your edit, like showing your feet walking by and then showing the POV shot of the trail. The other tip I have for you is using your hiking pole mounted camera. You can do simple pans from left to right or right to left and match the cuts in edit. Another easy to capture shot is tracking the person in front of you. This is so simple with your GoPro on your hiking pole. You just hold out the pole and follow the person in front of you and you're gonna get a great shot. Another shot you absolutely want to get is locked off shots, where you just hold the camera still and film whatever's going on in front of you for 10 or more seconds. It's gonna feel like forever, but do it. You'll thank yourself later. Okay, now onto specific shots that you wanna get. The GoPro is waterproof, so dunk it in water, jump in with it, splash it, whatever you think of. It's a pretty hardy little camera that can go where that DSLR can't. Just remember, and this is super important, you guys listening?
It looks like I have something.
Clean off the lens when you're done. Check that lens a lot, because I mean, really, check it often. You might get sunscreen on it, you might have water spots, it might just get dirty or muddy. So I highly recommend cleaning that lens often. If you want to get amazing time-lapse video, you can absolutely do this on your GoPro. I generally use the night lapse mode if I know that the light's going to be changing, if I'm doing maybe a sunset time lapse. To do this, go into night lapse and you're going to hit that pencil to edit. Pick the intervals and the duration that you want. From here you can also set up scheduled capture, where you can set it and forget it, so you can have that camera turn on in the middle of the night to catch maybe sunrise. In-camera transitions are free and they're really easy to do, and they're going to take your footage to the next level. Revealing the scene by brushing past leaves, trees, a person's back, your tent, whatever you're near. Music. We all love music, and it sets the mood to our films. I use a subscription service called Musicbed, not sponsored. I've also used Artlist and Epidemic Sound in the past. All three are great subscription services. They're all affordable, but you're gonna have to find the songs and tracks that really work with your footage, and it's kind of a personal preference, so it's what you like. It does take a bit of time to find that perfect track, so what I do is I'll listen to the Spotify playlist for Musicbed, and I'll like songs that I hear that I think might work. Also, don't forget about ambient sound. When you're out on a trail, remember to record without talking. And you can obviously add FX sounds later in post, but if you capture it on your own, it just makes your life so much easier. Power. You're gonna need power to power all of your gear. Even though I just have a GoPro and I did take 3 batteries, I still charged them every day, and I charged my iPhone and I charged my iWatch. So I brought this. It is a 1-pounder. It's not light, but it worked great. I strapped it on the back of my backpack when I was hiking all day, and then when I got to camp, I charged everything up. Worked great. It's heavy, but it worked great. I'll leave a link in the description below. This is a no-brainer tip. Bring extra SD cards. They're tiny, they weigh nothing, and you should format them before you head out. Make sure they're all clean and ready to go, and you'll have them if you need them. And most importantly, have fun. Be goofy, laugh, enjoy your time, and capture those moments. But remember, you are out in the wilderness to get away from the daily grind and just enjoy nature and enjoy being with the people that you're traveling with. So put that gear away and just enjoy the moment. When you get home, you're gonna need to get organized. Rewatch all your footage, and I do mean rewatch all your footage. Take notes, get ready to edit, and think about editing for your viewer. Okay, you guys, I have so many more tips on how to edit, so that's probably gonna be a different video. If you guys are still here, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you. And see you guys out on the trails or in the next video. So now go have yourself an adventure. And film it. And film it cinematically. Okay, I think we're done.
That was fun. It didn't hurt at all.
Liar.
That was the best time ever.
Liar.
Look at all these people. All our friends. Hi guys. Good job. Awesome.
They just gave out.
Me too.